Hey, my friends here at Home Race, how are you? I hope so, since we have a lot of excitement ahead of us now with qualifying for the United States GP, which based on the sprint qualifying, was bound to be full of surprises and with a lot of uncertainty until the end. But before I show you all the details of what happened on the track, I invite you to subscribe to our channel, since that's the only way you won't miss any details about this decisive final stretch of the championship. And if you like videos full of information like this one, leave a like to support our work. Well, let's go to the three parts of this qualifying, which takes place after an exciting sprint race full of overtaking, and which made it clear that the balance is great this weekend, something we had already seen on Friday, and which was confirmed today, with at least 4 teams, Red Bull, McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari, with chances of getting a good result since their cars are very close in pace. Mercedes ended up disappointing a bit in the sprint, with Hamilton believing on Friday that he had the car to take pole position. Did he succeed in this qualifying? Well, let's start with the first part of this qualifying, Q1, which lasts 18 minutes and eliminates the 5 slowest drivers. And right from the start, many cars went straight to the track in search of their times, since yesterday, several ended up being hampered by leaving everything to the end, with yellow flags getting in the way a bit and some doing very badly. Even when leaving the pits, Fernando Alonso and Liam Lawson got into a fight again. Remembering that Alonso complained a lot about a maneuver by Lawson in the sprint, and now the Spanish driver wanted to get revenge and put pressure on the Racing Bulls rookie, with Lawson not liking this attitude at all and complaining on the radio. At Williams, after the first lap, Albon returned to his garage, showing that something was wrong with his first attempt, apparently nothing serious, since a few minutes later he went out again for a few more laps. With 10 minutes to go, Verstappen was leading Q1, with Norris in second, more than 0.3 slower, and Sergio Perez in third. The Mercedes cars had not yet set a time, and the Ferraris were a little behind at that point. As a surprise, Alex Albon put in a good lap and set the 5th fastest time at that point, and Colapinto did even better, setting the 4th fastest time, just behind Perez. There were several cars in the elimination zone, many of which had not yet set a lap, with Leclerc, Tsunoda, Gasly, Lawson, and Stroll under threat at that point. With about 5 minutes to go, a lot changed in the times, with Gasly setting a good lap, Hülkenberg also setting a good time, and Liam Lawson even ahead of Piastri and Perez. The Mercedes cars, on the other hand, struggled to set a good lap, with both their drivers in the elimination zone with less than 2 minutes to go. After a lap by both drivers, Russell managed to set a lap that practically guaranteed him a place in Q2. Lewis Hamilton, on the other hand, did not set a good time and probably would not have had enough time to set another fast lap, probably being eliminated in this first part. Fernando Alonso was also in a very bad condition until the final seconds, depending on a good lap to avoid being eliminated. With the time limit up, Verstappen was the fastest, Leclerc was second, and Liam Lawson, surprisingly, in third place. And on the other hand, Guan Yu Zhou, who was in last place, was eliminated, with Lewis Hamilton only in 19th place, the Mercedes driver Valtteri Bottas in 18th, Franco Colapinto in 17th, and Alex Albon in 16th. Starting Q2, the second part of qualifying, which lasts 15 minutes and again eliminates the 5 slowest drivers, with Max Verstappen in a hurry and was the first to set a fast lap, with only George Russell not going out on the track in these initial minutes, probably making some adjustment to his car that was not very balanced in the first part. And after everyone's first lap, Lando Norris was the fastest, Max Verstappen was second, and Oscar Piastri third. Russell, after these adjustments, set the 4th best time, leaving Liam Lawson in the elimination zone, who still had no time, Charles Leclerc in 14th, Stroll in 13th, Alonso in 12th, and Ocon in 11th. As soon as they completed this first lap, everyone went back to the garages to change tires before their last attempts, with the track being empty for a few minutes. With only 4 minutes left, everyone went out onto the track, clogging up the pit exit, with Tsunoda asking the team for a little help from his teammate, so he could slipstream on one of the straights, in an attempt to get to Q3. And after this final attempt, the fastest was once again Max Verstappen, with Sainz in second and Norris in third. Eliminated were Liam Lawson, who had no time, in 15th, Stroll in 14th, Ocon in 13th, Hülkenberg in 12th, and Tsunoda in 11th. And finally, Q3, the decisive part of qualifying, which lasts only 12 minutes and defines the starting grid for the United States GP. And in this part, George Russell was the first to go out onto the track in search of his fastest lap, with only Fernando Alonso staying in his garage in these initial moments. And after everyone's first lap, Norris set the fastest time, with Verstappen very close behind in second and Carlos Sainz in third. Alonso only went out for his attempt with 6 minutes left, trying to take advantage of the emptier track to set a good lap time. With 4 minutes left, everyone returned to the track for another single attempt to try to beat their times. And in this rush to get out on the track, we had this incident between Gasly and Verstappen, with the Alpine car forcing Verstappen into the wall, and this may have led to a penalty later on. And in the middle of these final attempts, George Russell lost control of his car and hit the tire barriers, causing a yellow flag and ending qualifying early, not giving anyone else time to close their laps and greatly hindering Verstappen, who was on a good lap and had a chance of taking pole. As a result, Lando Norris was the fastest driver in qualifying and will be the pole position in tomorrow's race, with Max Verstappen in second and Carlos Sainz in third. Rounding out the top 10, Leclerc was fourth, Piastri fifth, Russell sixth, Gasly seventh, Alonso eighth, Magnussen ninth, and Sergio Perez only 10th. So, in this unexpected way, we ended qualifying for the United States GP with Norris and Verstappen on the front row, and the promise of a very good start in tomorrow's race. But what about you? Tell me in the comments, did you like Lando Norris' pole position? And what are your expectations for tomorrow's race?